In medical news, deadly disease is difficult to deal with, but especially tragic when they affect children.
DIPG.
DIPG.
With brain cancer, one of the deadliest cancers, I can't even believe he lived a month.
The typical age for someone to get DIPG is between 5 and 8 years old.
Every 5 weeks, 2 to 5 families in the U.S. lose a child under age 9 to this tumor.
The cause unknown, and there is no cure.
Childhood cancer research in general is just consistently and vastly underfunded. These children with gliomas are effectively ignored.
So little awareness about childhood cancer.
This is a tragedy here, and nobody knows about it.
My name is Ed McNamara. I co-founded Prayers for Maria with my beautiful wife, Megan.
When Ed and I first met, my junior year of high school, we did not like each other at all. Then we all went off to college, and I went into the Peace Corps and circled back around with Ed when I came home. I am Megan McNamara. I'm the mother of 5 children.
Hi, Aiden. Say hi.
Hi.
Our oldest is Maria.
Here we are, Maria's first Christmas.
We had Maria. Megan hemorrhaged, and they had to take her away immediately to try to save Megan's life. So I was all alone in the room with holding Maria, this 12-minute-old girl, and they all went away, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do?
Maria.
It's something you always think as a parent. Okay, now what do I do? Now what do I do? You immediately start thinking of all the things you have to do to protect her from the evils of the world. From that day forward, it was all about Maria.
Maria's very tired. It's her nap time.
Maria was a very smart girl. She loved her brothers. She liked to dress them up, and, got a lot of great pictures thanks to Maria that we're going to use against those guys when they get older.
She was also very funny. She loved to tell jokes. She loved to laugh all the time.
Maria, look.
She was perfect. Can't describe it any other way. It's every dream, everything perfect. That's what she was. She was having trouble walking, seeing.
I'd find her at the top of the steps, and she'd say, "Mom, can you carry me down the stairs?" And it started to get worse and worse. When we really started to think something's not right here is when the side of her face started to droop.
I took her to the doctor, and they diagnosed her with Bell's palsy.
They said, there's really nothing that can be done. She should get better over time. And what we started to see is she just started progressively getting worse and worse.
Well, a neighbor who's a doctor looked at her and said, this is something a little different. Why don't you bring her in, tomorrow? So I take Maria in and get a CT scan. He's like, there's some fluid on this brain. We're not digging it. You better go down and get an MRI right away.
As they were looking at the results, they said, she needs to go downtown to the clinic. At that moment, we started to get scared.
Later on that day, the doctor came in and said, yep, worst of the worst.
Without any treatment, without doing anything, she would die within weeks. We needed to make some serious decisions, and we needed to make them very quickly.
Megan and I, we reached out to every possible doctor throughout the country.
Ed was literally on the phone 24/7. Nothing was out there.
We got nothing. Now what do I do?
It was dismal.
Why? Why? There's no funding. Why is there no funding? Now what do I do? Drug companies can't make any money off of 5,000 kids a year. There's no researchers that are getting funding. What's going on? One doctor said, try something no one's ever used or done before, because nothing has worked in 30 years. Now what do I do?
Ed talked to the doctors at St. Jude, and he said, look, I want you to go off protocol. Try this different drug that seems to have success with other cancers. Let's do this with Maria. And she had a great recovery. I'm thinking, maybe she can beat this. That's what they call a false hope stage.
Gliomas are actually a very common type of brain tumor. But in children, many types of gliomas tend to be highly aggressive, and they also tend to have a very poor prognosis. 99.5% of children diagnosed with these deadly forms of brain tumors, they die within 2 years.
By far and away, the major entity funding biomedical research in the United States is the National Institutes of Health. The challenge for us is that the NIH budget has not increased, and the available dollars to us, if you account for inflation, are less today than they were a decade ago. Less than 4% of that budget is allocated to the cancers that are most common in children, adolescents, and young adults.
Research in general is driven by what is more marketable, where is more money. So, for example, in the field of cancer, breast cancer has lots of publicity. So it's easier to get funding.
Not enough children are diagnosed with cancer each year to justify a huge expenditure of resources by the National Cancer Institute or institutions that provide funding for cancer research.
You have a population of scientists at institutions all around the country who are competing for these resources. Half of the applications that are submitted will not be scored, will not be discussed, and of those that are, only 6% are currently being funded. So from idea to first submission to second submission, and if it's scored well and funded, to actually having money to do the work, minimum 2 years. So it's an extraordinary delay for the patient who's suffering. So we have to do everything we can to fill that gap.
We actually started the foundation when Maria was still alive.
We were at St. Jude. We'd meet all these other little kids, and we'd go back to the room every night. And every night, Maria, on her own, would decide she wanted to pray. And then I started realizing that she was praying for all these other kids.
She prayed for all of her friends who were sick at St. Jude. She never forgot one of them. We were inspired by that.
It was her simpleness and her kindness that drove our theme, our thoughts, and our foundation.
Prayers for Maria is dedicated to funding global research into the causes and treatment and understanding of gliomas.
We're over up against I-90, planting some sunflowers for prayers from Maria.
The more people see this as they drive by, the more awareness we're going to build.
It's our hope that all the work that we're doing and all the cultivating that we're doing will bloom into more life-saving, targeted treatments for kids that are battling gliomas, very much like these seeds will be cultivated and bloom into beautiful sunflowers for everyone to see as they drive down Interstate 90. In the past 7 years, we've actually made tremendous progress in helping to support research into these deadly tumors. A grant that we gave away in 2010 went to Case Western in Metro to Dr. Bing-Cheng Wang, and he used the $100,000 grant to receive $3.3 million in funding to continue that research. Because of our funding, a lot of these promising research studies are able to continue.
Maria McNamara was just 7 years old when her life was cut short by brain cancer. This field of sunflowers that stretches nearly a mile alongside I-90 in Avon is part of the effort by Maria's parents to provide hope for a cure.
Today, my wife and I and our Prayers for Maria team are announcing a $250,000 grant. We're awarding that to Jim Basilian and his team.
It's wonderful to be here. We have engineered a nanotechnology which can target effectively the vasculature that is surrounding a tumor and park a large amount of drug there.
Once you have all that drug in that location now, we use a radio frequency field, and the drug is in essence dispersed specifically into the locations of brain tumor.
It is Foxtrot Day.
We're going to have the Foxtrot, and all the proceeds go to Prayers from Maria.
We are thrilled to be the recipient of the funds that are raised.
You're finding a relationship between industry, nonprofits, academic institutions that I think is really changing the way we fund science.
John Rivera has turned his pain and loss into activism.
Made it her mission to bring awareness to the rare cancer known as DIPG.
Working to put an end to childhood cancer.
We are very fortunate because there are so many nonprofit organizations who have risen up largely because of the effort and the commitment of families who've gone through this experience.
Hundreds are coming together to help find a cure for the deadly disease.
The work of foundations like Prayers for Maria is meeting an incredible need.
When Prayers for Maria, Ed and Megan made it their goal to ensure that more advanced treatments are found for these children.
It's okay, I know someday I'm gonna be with you.
The foundation is truly championing a cause that has gone unnoticed for so many years.
We're getting behind it. The entire news station here is getting behind this.
This little Grassroots turned into, now we're funding large grants from NIH, and it's all about trying to find a cure.
Those resources came from hard work of people who told their story. It gives us a chance to continue the work that we do.
Because of the grants that we're funding, research is being conducted that will hopefully cause there to be an extension of life or an advancement of treatment.
It's that kind of effort that's really going to make a difference for us and for the patients who come to see us.
It's not going to be that there's nothing done for these kids anymore. It's not going to be that there's nothing we can do. We have a long way to go, but we're going to see that these prayers get answered.
It's okay, I know someday I'm gonna be with you. It's okay, I know someday I'm gonna be with you. It's okay, I know someday I'm gonna be with you. It's okay, I know someday I'm gonna be with you. It's okay, I know someday I'm gonna be with you. It's okay, I know someday.